My students are taking a break right now, so I wanted to talk to you about this because I was thinking about this on my way to work. The thing I like about my job, since I'm an instructor, is I have an opportunity almost every day to speak in front of people, and speaking in front of people is so important. I don't like to admit it, but it's kind of who you know, not what you know, what your degree is, or what technical knowledge you have. But knowing people liking you is very important. And I used to not like that, but since then I've learned to embrace it and have fun with it. I had to make it a game. I had to make it like a psychological game, an acting game. I had to convince myself that it was fun. You know, acting is fun. Psychology is interesting. So I said, you know what, let me focus on the psychological aspects of speaking in front of people, entertaining people, and also let me have some fun with acting and see if I can control the way I move my body and stuff like that. But today I'm having a class. I'm speaking in front of a big group of people. And the nice thing about having a job like this, I can hardly breathe because I just did some push-ups and sit-ups during my lunch break. The good thing about having a job like this is that I get to practice things, behaviors, ways of speaking that I can use outside of this job. Not only do I become better at speaking at work, but when I'm outside, I'm driving with someone who's very experienced, very knowledgeable, a successful person. If I go out to lunch with them, I can use these same skills, behaviors to make my time with them more pleasurable. I want to make time when people are with me enjoyable, pleasurable, so they enjoy being with me. I don't want to be awkward, I don't want to be real quiet. And then at the end of the trip, the car ride, I cram in a bunch of information at the very end, or I cram in a bunch of information at the beginning and the rest of the car ride's quiet. I want to have a certain amount of physical contact, a certain amount of eye contact, a certain amount of joking, and I want you to tell stories about yourself. Me, not really tell much about myself, a little bit, but I want you to enjoy yourself when you're with me. So in these classes, when I'm teaching, I can practice skills like that. I have a group of people in front of me. First thing I'm going to practice is, and by the way, I was in college before when I did the speech class. I was like almost like lightheaded, tunnel vision, wanting to faint in front of people. So for me, this is a fun challenge. Anyway, so I have people in front of me, and I'll give myself a challenge. I'll say today when I'm speaking in front of people, I'm going to make sure I'm looking at a different person while I'm talking. I'm not even really looking at them. I'm looking through them. So I'm using like my peripheral vision as I'm talking. I also try to make sure that I'm moving around a little bit, not moving around too much, but just enough so that I'm interesting to look at. Also, every once in a while I will make eye contact with people so that they feel engaged. With some people I will ask questions. I'll ask questions, I will also look at people, and I will talk about something that they did that one time, that person did that one time. That way everyone laughs and that person feels appreciated and important. Then someone up here in the middle of the class, I will call them out, talk about that one thing they did that one time. I'll try to tell some jokes, some funny things like that. And also, like what I'm doing right now, when I shot this video, I had a list of things that I was going to talk about, but I'm trying to practice just starting the video and in my mind having things organized so that later when I meet someone, I can be talking to you, blah, 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 but I have things already organized in my mind that I want to talk to you about later. So I'm telling jokes with people, I'm calling them out every once in a while, and then I want to try different emotions. I want to be serious a little bit. Maybe I want to tell a personal story, and then maybe I want to encourage the other people, my employees, to tell a personal story. So it gets serious, it gets happy, it gets relaxed, it gets funny, it gets exciting, And that way they're having all these different emotions, and these same things apply when you're with a girl that you like, when you're with someone that you're entertaining for the day. Another thing I'll do is before I present in a class, I will intentionally wait till the very last minute so that I just have to start the class and I'm not completely fully prepared. That way it kind of makes it fun for me. It makes like a fun challenge where I start the class and I have to start talking, but in my mind I have to have the next thing I'm going to say already prepared. Or as I start, I didn't have all my papers prepared for the class, so I start the class, they're watching the video, they're doing the activity. As they're doing that, I go and I get my other papers I need for the next upcoming section. That way it keeps it fun for me, it keeps me on my toes, and it's kind of this balancing act where I have to be one step ahead of the class. If I fall behind the class, I have to learn how to put in a break in there, and it becomes kind of fun, like a balancing act, a game that you have to play. Also, I have to practice teaching myself to stop in the, how do I explain it? During a presentation, I have to remind myself about my housekeeping. There's certain papers that need to be signed. There's certain checklists that I need to go down. So I need to remind myself to stay calm as I'm giving my presentation, to be thinking in the back of my mind, okay, wait a second, I need to make sure that I get all these papers signed. And when you're nervous or you're uncomfortable, it's easy to forget to collect all the papers, or it's easy to forget to make sure that you check that they actually signed where they're supposed to sign, that they check the boxes they're supposed to check, they actually answer the questions they're supposed to answer, and they put their name where they're supposed to put their name, because later, if you're too nervous, you're not paying attention later, at the end of your presentation, at the end of your class, you're going to find that you forgot to do some basic paperwork requirements that you really needed to do when you had everyone in front of you. Now people are leaving and the class is over, and now you've got to go track them down and get the paperwork signed later. It's a big pain in the neck. So slow yourself down during your class whenever you have time. Remind yourself of what paperwork needs to be done. Have it all done there when everyone is in front of you. Also, little things. Don't leave trash on the floor. Please push in your chairs. Try to have the people in the group do as much of the work that you need to do for you. So they appreciate it. They have something to do. Another little thing I noticed was, as I'm doing this paperwork, we're watching a video or there's some lull in the presentation, I try to space out activity throughout the presentation. So for example, I put on a 30-minute video. 15 minutes into the video, I will get up in front of the people and pass out a paper. They were starting to fall asleep because it's already been 15 minutes, and now I throw something in front of them. They like, what's this? And they start to look at it, and then they're awake again watching the video. Also, I'm just trying to basically do things to keep the stimulation up. So if I'm trying to do something that's stimulating every 10, every 15 minutes, I'll throw in a different kind of video, I'll throw in a different kind of question and answer session. I'll stand up, I'll pass papers out. I will try to mix it up as much as possible. So this is I think that's about it. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Some of the fun that you can have, the challenging experiences. It's fun. It's a fun challenge, especially it's more fun for someone like me because I'm not naturally comfortable in front of a lot of people. So you'll get better at it. Practice. If you can, try to put yourself in a position where you're speaking in front of a lot of people. And remember, it's not just about your job. You can use your job to improve your skills speaking with a girl, with a date, with these important people that you want to meet and learn from, because that's what it's really about. And that's the way I approach my work when I'm working. I think this is like practice session for later. Okay, I think that's about it. Lunchtime's almost over. I'm gonna go back to class and try to keep the class stimulated and asking questions and try to remember everyone's name. Sometimes I forget people's names. But have a good day. I'll talk to you later.